would like to open it up to questions, other things that you might have on your personal mind and what's going on in the state. Okay? Is that okay with you?
Perfect, yes.
Okay.
Absolutely, thank you. Yes. Hi, everybody. If you ever notice, if any of you have ever seen me speak before, what you'll always notice is, whoa, yes?
No, I didn't see you.
Oh, I'm sorry. If any of you have seen you speak, if any of you have seen me speak before, here's what you'll notice. I never use notes. I just speak from the heart. I tell you what I feel. I will also never pander to you. I will tell you what I feel. My hope is that I will get you to agree with me 80% of the time. That's my goal, 80%. I can't get all of you to agree with me 100%. It's impossible. Never going to happen. But if I give it 80%, then you should consider voting for me. That's how I see it. Why do I see it that way? I'm a business guy. I'm not a government guy. And the 80-20 rule is a very important business rule. So I follow that rule. But not just that. As a Marine, my first commander-in-chief was Ronald Reagan. And Ronald Reagan always said, if someone in politics agrees with you 80% of the time, they're your ally, not your enemy. And I believe that. So if I got you 80%, I'm pretty happy. If I don't, you probably should either vote for someone else or stay home. Please don't stay home. 70% of us stay home every single time there's an election. 70% stay home. Please don't stay home. Find somebody that you feel you can vote for. Please don't vote against people. Voting for the lesser of two evils still gets us evil. I'll say it again. Voting for the lesser of two evils still gets us evil. So find someone who you want to vote for. I hope I'm that guy. Now, I'll answer any question whatsoever after I'm done. It is irrelevant what that question is. I'll take any comment. Doesn't matter what it is. Personal, political, it doesn't matter on any issue whatsoever. If you've seen me speak before, I will never not answer a question. I will never dodge a question ever. Let me tell you about the Second Amendment. Why do I care about the Second Amendment? I often get attacked. Larry, how in the world can you care about the Second Amendment? You don't own a firearm. That's true. I don't. I live in New York City. I'd be a fool to own a firearm. Yes, you know, I have a two-hour period from my home to any place I go to shoot a range. And if I don't get back to my home in 2 hours, I go to jail. Yeah, okay. When I shoot outside of New York State. I shoot in Utah, I shoot in Oklahoma. I like Utah because they always give me a veteran discount. So I like Utah. That's what I do. But when I was in the Marine Corps, I actually ran an armory. So I know weapons very well. I know firearms very well. So why do I care about the Second Amendment? Why does it matter to me? I don't have a horse in this race. Because all of our rights matter. The First Amendment is the #1 amendment. Without that, we got nothing. If we don't have freedom of choice, freedom of religion, freedom of speech, freedom of association, freedom of the press, we don't have those things, we don't have a country. We got nothing. What was the Second Amendment? The one to defend the first. That's why the Second Amendment matters. And if you've seen me talk about it, and I have, I'm the only guy that after there's a school shooting or after there's a mass shooting, I'm the only guy who never says, now isn't the time to talk. But watch the Democrats attack and the Republicans back away and cower. You never see me cower. I'm the guy who does the video the day of the shooting. Second Amendment matters every single day. First Amendment matters every single day. It doesn't matter what's happening. All of our amendments matter. That's what I say, no matter what. Now, how does it affect us here in New York State? The #1 thing is the SAFE Act. Why am I so up on the SAFE Act? Why does that matter to me so much? I'll tell you why. Because the SAFE Act is the beginning of a secret state police. That's the beginnings of a secret state police. And the average New Yorker does not understand that. I don't want a secret state police. I will not accept that. Now, what will Democrats do? Democrats are fine with the SAFE Act. They say, let's go. Keep on going. Don't stop now. Let's do SAFE Act 2, SAFE Act 3. It's all good. They're happy. Republicans go, whatevs. Whatevs. Where's their plan? Don't forget something. The SAFE Act was enacted and supported with Democrats and Republicans together. Bump stocks were just banned unanimously. Where was the Republican Party? I'll ask you again. Where's the Republican Party? The attack I get all the time is, Larry, where were you when we were fighting the SAFE Act? Where were you back then? Where were you? Where were you? I was fixing my family and my business. It wasn't my job to do this. I wasn't in political office. I wasn't a public figure. It wasn't my job. It was my job to fix my own family. which is what I was doing after the crash in 2009. That's what I was doing, and I did my job. But the two people running right now, it was their job to protect our Second Amendment rights, and they didn't. They failed us. I have to run because of their failures. And you're mad at me? I've been doing this 1 year. 1 year. And I have a plan to get the SAFE Act repealed, a plan to turn the state around to face the right way when it comes to Second Amendment, and I have a movement. I have both. What's the Republican have? Nothing. Not a plan, not a movement, nothing. This state's been run by Democrats for 16 years. If they were going to fix it, they would have fixed it. The Republicans have been watching it for 16 years. Where's their plan? Nowhere. Nothing. They have no plan. Ask a Republican about a SAFE Act. You know what he says? Well, you know, track record, we've been fighting, track record. Whenever you hear track record, realize this. Their track record includes the SAFE Act. That's your proud track record? Your track record includes failure upon failure upon failure, and here's the worst part, not learning. I failed. I'm sure everyone in this room has failed. But when you fail, you should then learn something. You should then change. You should adjust. You should figure something out. What have they learned? Nothing. Their answer is, tweak the edges of the SAFE Act. We have red flag laws sitting right now in Albany ready to be enacted. You won't know what that means. That means teachers are going to become part of a secret state police. You're okay with that? And your answer is surrender? I will not surrender. I will not surrender at all. We will find a way to repeal the SAFE Act, and when I'm governor, I will absolutely veto any red flag law. That's what I will do. All right, Larry, you're talking trash. I am. I'm upset. I am. What am I going to do about it? Let me tell you. Number one thing I'm going to do. When I'm governor, I will begin right away to pardon people who are victims of the SAFE Act. I already get letters from prison and from mothers who have their sons in prison for 5 years because they tried to fight a SAFE Act violation, they lost, and now they are a violent felon. They're a violent felon because they had a piece of equipment on their firearm that His Majesty King Andrew has deemed evil. Now they're in prison. So I will begin to do that right away, within 90 days. When that happens, guess what? The press is going to attack me like there is no tomorrow. They're going to come at me. And I can't wait, because when they do, I have the ability to then train and educate. Why does that matter? Because here's what many of you may not know. The average person who is against the for the SAFE Act doesn't understand the SAFE Act at all. Most of it is ignorance. How do I know? If you've been following my campaign, you'll know something. I draw Democrats, I draw Republicans, I draw independents, I draw the youth, I draw people who don't vote. I draw them all. Why? Because I want you to be as liberal or as conservative as you want to be. Just don't force your views on others. I want you to be able to have counties that are counties and cities that are cities. I want to make sure that you can be who you want to be. One city should not control this entire state. It's not fair to the state. It's not fair to the city. I want to change that. No one else will. So people listen to me. And when they listen to me, the person who is for the SAFE Act says, SAFE Act's great. Here's as far as they think. And I'm very serious here. They say, well, the SAFE Act says safe in it, and we haven't had a school shooting since 2013, therefore SAFE Act works. I'm very serious. That is very common. But what happens when a Republican who's pro-2A talks to them? Shut off. They don't hear. Doesn't matter what you say. What happens when I talk to them? They hear me. Because I don't fight on the constitutionality of it. I don't fight on any of that. I fight on what the SAFE Act actually did. I tell people who go, SAFE Act's awesome. I say, here a SAFE Act made millions of New Yorkers criminals overnight. People who literally purchased a firearm legally without any issues, and the next day they were literally violent felons in the eyes of the law. And you will find people who are pro-SAFE Act will go, oh, really? I actually had someone tell me this. I thought the SAFE Act banned machine guns. Yes, you're laughing, but I had someone actually tell me that. No, I thought the SAFE Act banned machine guns. No, that's not what it did. It literally made millions of New Yorkers overnight violent felons, criminals. But something else. It made all of our medical personnel part of a secret state police that literally now has to report on people, breaking that doctor-patient wall, breaking all of that, making everything bad. A secret state police. Literally, if someone comes in and gets hurt and goes, oh, I'm in pain. You're in pain? Yes. Oh, I want to die. Suicidal, lose your firearms. That kind of thing happens. And when I tell people that, they go, really? That's not fair. Yeah, that's not fair. You're right. That's not fair. And I said, do you know that because of the SAFE Act, it actually affects veterans by percentage more? Because veterans are more apt to have a firearm and are more apt to have PTSD than non-veterans. So it affects them more. And they're a community. So guess what? When veterans know that they have trouble and they're going to lose their firearms, they don't get help. And they go, oh my God, it hurts veterans. Yeah, it does. The SAFE Act's bad. And you watch all of the people who were pro-SAFE Act start to say, well, it's not so bad. How do I know that to be true? Because if you watched any of my events, I ask the same question every time. I say, who here is Democrat? Who's here Republican? Who here is independent? And different hands go up every single time. I draw Democrats all the time. I draw independents all the time. And I'm the most pro-2A candidate ever. And I draw Democrats all the time. You want to win this election? You want to make this state a pro-2A state? You got to vote for somebody who can get independents, those who don't vote, and Democrats. Republicans are not enough. Ask Astorino. Ask every single Republican in this state who's run a statewide election in the last 16 years. Not one victory. Not one in a statewide election. Not AG, not controller, not lieutenant governor, nothing. Not one. Ask all of them. The attack I get, though, is, Larry, you're libertarian. You can't win. Libertarians never win. You're right. They don't win. That's true. The last 3 gubernatorial candidates combined, libertarian, did not raise $10,000. Combined. I've raised almost $400,000. This is not your daddy's Libertarian Party. This isn't that. The last 3 gubernatorial candidates combined, they didn't make enough stops in this state that I make in 1 month. This is my 4th one today. I began in Watertown. That's where I started. Today. Not just that. They didn't see Trump coming. Why? Because he was on Twitter. He was in new technology. They don't see me coming because I'm on Facebook and podcasts. They don't see me coming either. So this is winnable. So when I actually do that, when I become the governor and I pardon those people and the press comes to me, I will talk the way I'm talking to you. And you will watch the rest of the state go, wow, that's SAFE Act. That's not so good. People will begin to turn. But that isn't enough. You guys know I'm a Marine. You know that. That means I don't have a problem being the first in. I don't have a problem breaking a hole in that front line. But all of you have to come in behind me. Because if you don't, I can't change anything. The battle begins once I win. That's when the war starts, when I win. When I break a hole and you follow me through. Because here's what you need to know. How can I possibly get this thing repealed? First off is getting public opinion that says it isn't so bad. Getting a bunch of Democrats going, whatever, fine, who cares? Next, making sure the press sees it. They go, you know what, who cares? But more importantly, you calling the assembly, saying, Governor Sharpe has been making this irrelevant. Why in the world do we still have it? He's pardoning everyone who gets convicted. Why in the world do we still have it? And on top of that, I tell law enforcement, it is your lowest priority to enforce. If you know law enforcement, the vast majority don't want to enforce it anyway. They're happy. They're like, yep, good, thanks, Governor. Not enforcing it. So it's not being enforced. It's getting pardoned. You're calling them. And the rest of the countries, rest of the states going, not so bad. Now we move to the next year. What will have happened in 2019? You know what will have happened in 2019? Nothing. There won't be a zombie apocalypse. There won't be shootouts in the street. That's not going to happen when we get some of our Second Amendment rights back. And what will happen? The culture of New York State will have changed to understand the SAFE Act is not so bad. And when I veto any red flag laws, the culture will have changed and realize the world's not going to end. And then in 2020, when I say, guys, repeal this thing, what will they realize? Governor Sharpe took all the heat. Governor Sharpe flew all the air cover for us. And those people in the assembly who are afraid will realize if something goes wrong, Governor Sharpe takes the heat. They will now step up and go, yes, I'll do it. On top of that, the rest of the state will be like, whatever, we don't care. They'll do it. On top of that, you'll be calling them. They'll do it. And we can get this thing repealed by 2020. What about the Senate, Larry? I'll run the Senate in 90 days. How? The Senate's about 50-50 split. When I win, here's what I guarantee you will happen. The second I win, there's going to be 5 or 6 guys and gals who are in the Senate who are thinking, well, I'm kind of libertarian leaning. Larry, my friend, I've always loved you. Boom. Then they all become libertarians. I get 5 or 6 libertarians, and guess what? I have the swing vote in the Senate. Senate, mine. My only issue is the actual assembly. If we do this together, we can move the assembly and we can get this thing repealed by 2020. It is possible. It can be done. Is it hard? Yes. Will it take a year of energy? Yes. I've been doing this for a year. If there's one thing I can do is execute. If you haven't seen that, you're not paying attention. If there's one thing you know, I'm not afraid to say what I feel. If you haven't done that, you don't know that, you're not paying attention. I don't have a problem going up against the establishment. I'm the only anti-establishment candidate that there is. The other 2 guys running, literally, lifelong public servants. All they know is government, nothing else. Just government. I'm a business guy. That's what I am. I think about actual solutions, how to fix things. That will happen. But I'll go further. Not only will we make sure the SAFE Act gets repealed by 2020, but on top of that, I'm going to make sure we have some crazy laws. This may sound crazy. I'm going to make sure that we actually have universal transportation laws within this state. You take your firearm into New York City, you're going to jail. How is that okay? How is you having your personal property that you bought legally, firearm or not, I don't care what it is, your personal property you bought with your money goes into my city and all of a sudden, boom, you're going to jail? I'm embarrassed by that. I'm embarrassed by that. How about instead, simple rules. If your firearm is locked and unloaded, it may be in any county no matter what. Now, counties may have more lax rules, of course, but just minimal. I'm taking my firearm through any county. If it's locked and unloaded, it's okay. I have to add one piece of this. Change the definition of loaded. You know what loaded is in New York State, right? Ammunition in the vicinity of the firearm. So, box of ammo, firearm, loaded. We changed the definition, bullets in the gun. But I'm still not done. We have to go further than this. And this we can get done, by the way, all within the first 2 years. If you draw your firearm in an attempt to stop a crime, you should not be prosecuted. Brandishing. No. Here's the worst part. You're trying to stab him. I draw my firearm. Don't stab him. If you don't stab him, I'm going to jail, you're not. How is that okay? If you stab him, we go together. How is that okay? That has to be changed. Who is talking about this? Only me. I'll say it again. Who is talking about this? Only me. No one else is talking about this. I'm the one saying it. Most people don't even know that if I draw my firearm to stop a crime, that I'm going to jail. They don't even know. They have no idea. I'm the only one talking about this. This is what I do for the Second Amendment. This is what I will do to support the Second Amendment. This is how I will turn this state around in the first 2 years. That's what I will take care of. Let me ask you, does anyone else have a plan? Yeah, no, nothing. Nothing. Their plan is a joke. Their plan is nothing. Why in the world would you, in any way, shape, or form, why would you reward that bad behavior? As a Democrat, if you're a Democrat, 16 years of trashing this state. If you're a Republican, 16 years of watching it go down the tubes with no plan, no movement, no nothing. It's another lie every 4 years. This is the year. No, it's not. You should be insulted by that. Because when he loses again, he'll go back home for 4 years and go to sleep, come back out in 4 more years, and lie to you again. When are you going to stop being lied to? When are you going to stop rewarding that bad behavior? Please stop. Vote Libertarian this year, 2018, and actually support the Second Amendment. We can turn this state around. Thank you.
I'd like to open the floor up for questions for Larry.
And feel free to ask me any question. It doesn't have to be on 2A. I'm happy to answer 2A questions, but it can be anything. Go ahead.
You mentioned you're a businessman. What kind of business?
Yes. Do you guys know my background? Oh, you don't? I'll give you a quick background. I'm born in Manhattan. I'm adopted. My adopted family brought me to the South Bronx. It's where I grew up until I was around 11. My father was a corrections officer at Rikers Island. My mother was a waitress and also worked in a bank. Neither of my parents were very educated. My mom didn't even have a high school diploma. So when I grew up in a bad area, those of you know about Yankee Stadium. So, by the way, Jim Rosenbeck's favorite stadium of all the stadiums, Yankee Stadium. So, yes. So I grew up outside of Yankee Stadium. I moved out onto Long Island. My parents were able to save enough money to move us out to Long Island, Suffolk County when I was 11 years old. Right after that, my father passed away. When my father died, it was very hard for me and my mom, as it would be for anyone who lost their parent. And I was searching to get out. I wanted to leave. At 17 years old, I decided to go join the military. I was going to join the Army, not the Marine Corps. I was going to join the Army because my father was in the Army. I was going to follow in the footsteps of my father and join the Army. But they were all four of the branches were in the same recruiting office. So I went to the Army guy, and the Army guy says, yeah, come on in, join. We'll make you a general in 6 weeks. You'll be running the Army. You'll travel the world and meet beautiful women. We'll give you a doctorate degree in a year. It'll be amazing. And I thought, wow, this is great. I'm going to be all I can be. I've got all the stuff in my hands. I'm walking outside. Marine Corps recruiter is right here like this. He says, hey, son, you got a second? I said, sure. Walked inside. He goes, sit down. I sat down. He said, an Army recruiter. He promised you a lot, huh? I said, yeah, I'm going to be a general in 6 weeks. It's going to be amazing. And he goes, yeah, we call that plan the solar plan. Everything under the sun. He goes, you know what I'm going to promise you? I said, what? He said, 4 hard years. You ready? I said, yes, and I signed up. That's how I joined the Marine Corps. And I didn't know why I did it back then, but I know why I did it now as I look back. I was desperately searching for positive male role models that I did not have in my life. It's obvious to me now, but then I didn't know. I just acted. And the Marine Corps gave me that. The military is not for everybody. If you don't want to join, you shouldn't join. I'm glad it's a volunteer force. All good. But the reality of it is, for me, I think it saved my life. I would have been a punk without the Marine Corps. I would have been a punk because I was a punk at 17. And I would have never not been a punk. The Marine Corps really saved my life, so I was very happy that that happened. When I came back from the Marine Corps, my mom had a lot of problems. My mom actually... my mom couldn't handle me leaving in my father's death. She became first addicted to legal drugs and eventually illegal drugs, and she was a victim of the drug war, and she was a convicted felon. I pulled her out of prison. When I put my mom out of prison, I realized I had seen both sides. Father as a corrections officer, mother as an inmate. I saw both sides of that. I brought my mother out, and she struggled. As if you have a felon in your life, you know it's hard if you have a felon in your life. It's difficult. You struggle. I didn't like that struggle. My mom was a hostage for any job that she had because she was afraid to lose her job. There was no job out there. I didn't like my mom being a hostage. I will not be a hostage. I will always fight my jailer. I don't like that. So I said, you know what? I'm going to change it. What did I do? We started a business. We started a business, and my mom was the owner. With my step-pop, she got remarried, and not me. I was not an owner. Why? I wanted my mom to be the boss. If my mom's the boss, you can't fire her. Hostage situation ended. We became truckers. Small business owner for about 2 years. I then left, let them keep that business. They kept that business until they retired. When they retired, guess what they did? They left. They went to South Carolina. So my mom ran that business until she was retired. She went to South Carolina. She passed away several years ago, but she passed away in South Carolina. After that, I had so many jobs back and forth. I liked doing different jobs, but I wanted to start my own business again. I liked it, so I started it. The funny thing is, so did anybody here happen to hear me on Glenn Beck? Someone did, okay, yes. So my Glenn Beck interview, he actually asked me, he said, Larry, you started that business with your mom. What'd you know about business? I said, nothing. I had 2 choices. Status quo, which was terrible, or I start something new to make something happen. Yeah, I take that. I don't accept status quo. And I believe that with everything I do. And that's why I did it. So I started another business. That business failed. I sold that business off. I then went back to work again, and then started the business that I have right now. The business I have now, I'm a trainer, I'm a consultant, I'm a teacher, executive coach. I have large clients like Estee Lauder and Models. Those are my larger clients. I have smaller clients like small law firms and IT firms. I've also taught in many colleges. I've taught at John J. Baruch. I've also taught at the graduate level as a guest instructor at both Yale and Columbia. And I've been an officer in a public company temporarily 2 times. That's do it for a living. But I don't do that now. Now I do this. Now, why do I say that? Because the two other people who are running, they're both salaried. In fact, you pay their salaries. You're paying them to run. I don't have a salary. This is my business. If I'm in front of you, I'm not getting any money. I lost over 50% of my income last year doing this. I will lose over 75% of my income doing this year. I have a wife who does not work and 2 kids. I live in New York City. You can imagine my bills. I don't want you to feel sorry for me. That's not, I knew what I was doing when I got into this. I knew what I was doing. Don't feel sorry for me. What I want you to feel is, wow, this guy's serious, because I am. This guy's serious. Yes, I am, because I don't want to move out of my state. I love this state. I don't want to move. Yes, so I'm going to do something about it. I will not be a hostage. I'm going to fix this. That's what I'm going to do. Did I answer your question? Awesome. You had one?
Yes. I saw you a couple of weeks ago when
Yep.
you were at Rochester Personal Defense.
Yep.
And since then, I've thought a lot about what you said then and some of the questions that were on the floor.
Yep.
And up front, I disagree with you on the recreational marijuana.
Sure.
I'm in favor of any medical uses that can come out of it.
Sure.
And I'm in favor of hemp as an
Sure.
agricultural product. I mean, it's the universal resource.
It's amazing. Hemp is amazing. Good for our environment, good for rope, good for cloth, good for concrete, good for plastic. Yes, hemp is amazing.
Like
Helps
you
out
said,
small
universal
farmers.
resource, great for agriculture. But, and then the abortion issue, I can't slide with you on that one.
Okay, so you want me to cover abortion? Is that what you asked me to do?
No,
Oh, okay.
just putting you kind
No,
of
I get
in
it.
touch with where I am.
Do I still get 80% or no?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Because-
That's what I want. Yes. That's what I want. Yes. That's what I want. Yes.
Okay, now my question, you know, since President Trump got in office, and especially there was a big show of it in the past 2 weeks here
Yep.
with the
Kavanaugh.
confirmation
Sure.
for Justice Kavanaugh.
Yep.
That the other side is just being obstructionists. Now, when you win
Yep.
the election, do you foresee that happening, perhaps
Yes.
with both parties?
Let me cover that. Yes.
Do you have a plan?
100%
to
yes.
react to that?
Yes. I want to cover the 3 pieces you mentioned. So I cover all of these things. Everyone else may not know. I am in favor of regulating hemp and cannabis like onions. This is what he's talking about. He's not happy about that. I get it. But here's my logic behind it so you understand my logic. Some of you disagree, and I get it, but I'm going to tell you my logic behind it. If we regulate hemp and cannabis like onions, the first thing we'll do is help a lot of small farmers. Small farmers are getting crushed in this state. This is an opportunity to help them to have a cash crop, not just a cash crop, but to have craft grows. As I mentioned, hempcrete, hemp plastic, all these things, but also cannabis for sleep, cannabis for cancer patients, cannabis for recreation. I know some of you don't like that, but that's what I believe. It's the right answer. People are going to smoke anyway. Let them smoke. That's what I believe. So with that in mind, I think it helps out farmers. If we then also, on top of that, treat farmers like small businesses so they can get SBA loans, they won't get hammered when it comes to insurance, they won't get hammered when it comes to workers' comp, we can actually support our local farmers on top of that. In addition to that, we want to make sure our farmers, if they agree to sell locally, are not hampered by any federal regulatory bodies. There's a law already in the books in Wyoming that says exactly that. This can help support our small farmers. That's one major reason why I'm for hemp and cannabis. The second one is people with chronic pain. There are a lot of people who have chronic pain, and they have several options right now. One of them, opioid. 80% of our addicts come from an FDA-approved opioid prescription. I don't want to increase that at all. A cannabis product is nowhere near as addictive. The vast majority of people will never be addicted to cannabis in any way, shape, or form. And that will give them an opportunity to actually have a better life. And my goal is not to be righteous. My goal is happy New Yorkers. If that makes you a happy New Yorker, I'm good. If you're a happy farmer, I'm good. You're a happy person with chronic pain, I'm good. I have been doing this for over a year, and more than once I've had people walk up to me and say, Larry, I really hope you make marijuana legal. I say, why? They say, because I smoke it at night so I can get some sleep. And right now I have my son go buy it. I don't want him to go to jail. That's unacceptable to me. I don't accept that at all. I don't accept that. That's the reason why I want to make hemp and marijuana that way. I also want it like onions. Why? If I heavily regulate it, Here's what I guarantee you. Big business wins, small business loses. That's a fact. That's how it works. Heavy regulation means crony capitalism. The buddies get it. The cronies get it. Big business get it. I want to help the little guy. If you want a resilient New York, we need lots of small business. Small business makes us resilient, and this is a great way of doing it. So I'm not saying you're right or wrong. I'm saying this is my opinion and why I say that. You say my abortion issue. I'll be very clear on abortion. People often have said, they've said, Larry's pro-choice, he loves abortion. They've heard it all the time. Completely and utterly false. Completely and utterly false. I am the only candidate who actually says I am anti-abortion. I don't call myself pro-life for a very important reason. I do not believe government should be telling you how to make this happen or forcing you. Why? It doesn't work, ever. It has never worked. Ireland just backed off because it didn't work. What happens when you make abortion illegal? I will tell you what happens. Rich women go get abortions anytime, anywhere they want. Poor women get punished. That's how it works every single time. So you have two choices. Option one, be righteous, shake your fist at me, and say, I'm going to vote Republican because they're pro-life. The candidates and Republicans will say this, I'm pro-life, and they will do nothing. And when I say nothing, nothing. All that happens is you have more and more abortions in this state. If you're paying attention, you know that's happening. More and more abortions in this state. They do nothing. Or worse, the current one said, here's his answer. It's the law of the land. That was his answer. It's the law of the land. I am telling you, I am anti-abortion. What does that mean? I will do everything in my power to make sure there are less abortions in this state. One of the things I'll do, and it's personal to me because I'm adopted. I could have been aborted. I wasn't. So guess what? I will make adoption easier. Way easier. I will make surrogacy easier. Way easier. I will speak about it and tell people. I won't keep my mouth shut. Is my mouth shut now? I didn't have to touch this because you would let me go. I'm touching it anyway. Because if I have an opportunity to tell you that I'm anti-abortion, I will do so. But I will not have the government force it. I want to change culture. If we change culture, we will have less abortions. I'm the only person who you're looking at who actually has a plan to make less abortions in this state. No one else does. They will talk trash. They will lie to you and pander to you. You will say, yay, I feel righteous, and nothing will change. I promise you there will be less abortions in this state when I'm governor. I promise you that. That's a guarantee. And I would do it by having other options available. But not just, people get upset at me. Larry, how about funding things like Planned Parenthood and such? We shouldn't be funding any of those. Now, if you personally want to fund them, that's up to you. It's your money. If you want to write a check to Planned Parenthood, please do so. It is your money. Do what you like. I don't control your money. But why in the world should the state be supporting that organization? It should not. Tell me another candidate who will say that. None. I am the only one. So you may not like my stance on abortion. I get it. But I would ask you, look at what your choices are. Perfection doesn't exist. Status quo or me. That's what you actually have. Status quo or me. Status quo is nothing. I will make it better. So your last question was, I'm sorry to touch all those pieces. Your last question was, how am I going to actually deal with the actual people fighting me in the assembly? You're right. As I said, I will own the Senate. The Senate I will have. When the press attacks me, good. I can't wait. Do you guys think I'm afraid of tough questions? Have you seen me in the press? I love the press. Have them beat me up. I don't care. Every time they attack me, I educate them. And that's what I want. Press attacking me is a chance to educate. Good for me. Let it come. No worries whatsoever. But not just that. How will I handle the assembly? Here's what I'll do. And again, I've done this before in my business life. If you allow local managers to become heroes, they tend to support the change agent. And that's me. That's how it works in the business world. That'll work in the government also. I will always allow the local people to be the heroes. I'm all about localize, localize, localize. I'm the guy, though, who protects your rights against a local bully. If they're not a local bully, they become heroes. They should support me. Not just that. You're calling them. I need you. You're going to be calling them to help me out. But let's say I can't win. Let's say I fight and they just want to stop me at every single time. What's Trump doing right now? What's Trump doing right now?
Winning.
No, he's not. He's campaigning. Yes, he is. He's fighting back. That's what he's doing. They're going to make me bored so I can't work? I got you. Find me whoever the 2 top people who are fighting me. I'm going to take all my time because I can't govern because you're going to stop me. No worries. I'm going to take all my time. I'm going to sit in your district and I'm going to make sure you lose your next election. You don't want me bored. You make me bored, I'll be doing this 4 times a day in your district. You're finished. Don't let Governor Sharpe target you because you're finished. So be good. Let's move forward. Life will be good. That's my plan. Did I answer your question?
Yes.
Awesome. Great.
I have one request, though.
Please tell me.
When you win, will you do something to maybe put zones in the state or something like that for the Rules Committee?
For the what committee?
The Rules Committee.
What do you mean by that?
Any legislation that's going to go to the Assembly has to be approved by the Rules
Ah,
Committee
got
first.
you. Thank you. Yes. Okay. Yes. That whole system will be revamped.
They're all...
No, I'm going to revamp the entire system. The system is completely broken. I'm not going to put in zones. The whole thing is revamped. The idea that, well, only certain people who are the cool people can put anything up, that goes away. That whole system is going away. We're reading the entire thing. Go ahead.
Common Core.
Yes.
A lot of women are against it. I'm against it. It hurts our children.
Yes, absolutely. Do you guys know my education plan? Okay, my education plan is very bold. It is a complete reboot again of the education plan. All my plans are bold. All of them are because our state is in a death spiral. It's in a death spiral. How many people in this room know someone who's left New York State? Yeah. How many of you consider living in New York State? Yeah, that's every room. That's a problem. We're in a death spiral. It's the weather. It's what it is. It's the weather. Absolutely. Let me give you a couple things on my. May I take my jacket off, guys? Is it okay? It's a little warm. Oh, yeah. Will you still respect me if I do it? No, you probably won't. I know you won't. It's all right. So we'll have to talk to me. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yes. All right, education. Big change. Number 1, no more standardized testing until high school. All goes away. Standardized testing is an unfair way of grading teachers. It's an unfair way of rewarding schools. It makes 10, 11, and 12-year-old kids feel like they're stupid because they can't take a test. And it makes a second class of student in elementary school. We should be ashamed of that. It is a terrible, bad idea. And at that age, has absolutely no indication of success at that age. None. High school, okay. Below that, no. Has to go away. Absolutely gone. What does that mean? When that goes away, 2 things will happen. Number 1, we lose Common Core. I'm okay with that. I don't mind. I'm not against Common Core. What I'm against is the mandate forcing a teacher to use Common Core. If you're an educator, are there any educators in the room? Okay, oh, so you'll know, great. So what you'll know is,
It's gone.
sorry?
Common Core was, on the news, it's gone. They're eliminating it.
Is that true?
I just heard on the news.
Oh, is that true?
They're getting rid of it. I can't hear, you can't hear over there.
Oh, sorry. She's saying that Common Core is gone.
There was something briefly on the news yesterday.
I hope that's true.
I wouldn't believe it.
Yes.
I wouldn't believe it. I'm saying this.
I hope that's true. But whether it's true or not, the point is I'm not against Common Core. There is a small percentage of children who actually learn better on Common Core. What I want Common Core to be is another tool for a teacher. If a teacher thinks that's what they should use for a student, let them use it. I'm okay with that. I don't care how your kid learns 2 + 2 is 4. Just learn 2 + 2 is 4. Whatever that is, if Common Core works for that, I'm the only candidate who actually says, let teachers teach, then I let them teach. I don't add administrators, right? The Republican answer is invest. Democrat answer is fund. What do those 2 things have in common? Taxes, your taxes. Every time you hear we have to invest in this, your taxes. We have to fund this, your taxes. You will never, say it again, never hear me give you a plan that will ever raise your taxes. I am a libertarian. I hate taxes. Yes, you will never see me go, and this will just raise taxes a little bit. Never. First thing we do that. Now, when we do that, we'll also lose federal funding. We'll lose about $4 billion. The actual overall budget is about $60 billion. $4 billion is federal. We'll lose that. That goes away. Just hold that number in your head for a second. What we also lose with that is all the mandates and strings attached by the federal government. Those go away. What does that mean? You can dump administrators. Lots of them. We actually have right now we have school districts that have more administrators than teachers. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. The average teacher in New York State, this includes the entire state, the average teacher makes about $80,000 a year. The average administrator makes over 6 figures a year. Yes, that's some $200,000 or $300,000 a year. Yeah. You dump 2 or 3 administrators, you can hire new teachers. You can buy new computers. Whatever you want. Guess who will not be deciding what you buy? Me. Because I don't know what's right in your school district. You do. I will begin to provide surpluses to you, and you can decide how to spend your own surpluses. Yeah, but I'm still not done. K through 12 is an anachronism. It should not exist anymore. Should be K through 10. Yes, K through 10. The last 2 years for too many of our students is gym, study hall, smoking weed, and video games. Yes, you're loud, but you know it's true. It's true. I'm the only candidate telling you the truth about education, not going, we have to care and invest. I'm not doing that. I'm telling you what's happening in our life right now. You're seeing it with your kids and grandkids. That's what's happening now. And that's a bad idea. Why? Because now we have kids 2 years, and they are lacking something very important. Now note, when I talked about, I'll be very clear to this, when I talked about 2A, I didn't bring up school violence, did I? I didn't talk about school violence, because they're not related. I'll say it again. When I talked about the SAFE Act and the Second Amendment, I didn't bring up school safety because they're not related. But ask a Republican about 2A. Well, SAFE Act, well, school safety. Shame on them. They are linking the two in the minds of New Yorkers, and that's what Democrats want. No, not the same. You know what's killing our children? Lack of purpose, lack of community, and loneliness. That's what's killing our children. Every single school shooting you see, while it is a murder, at its core is a public suicide. Kids with purpose, kids with community, don't want to kill themselves. That's what we have to add. And those last 2 years in high school, our kids are lost. They're absolutely lost. Shame on us for doing that. Shame on us for doing that. They're lost. How do I know that? Because now they go to college, and the first year of college is 13th grade because they don't know anything. They're not ready for college. The average kid now takes 6 years to graduate college because they're not ready for it. So now a kid's 24 years old, never had a job, and wonder, why do they have no work ethic? We set him up. Or worse, he's 24 years old, has a degree that has no value, can't find a job, $100,000 in debt, and they're working as yes, and they're working at Starbucks. And we wonder why kids are going back home at 26 or 25 years old. And we wonder why. This is why. We can change this. K through 10. What does that mean? At the end of 10th grade, take a test. You pass that test, there's your high school diploma. Life is good. Now what do? 5 choices. Choice number 1. If you think college is right for you, go to a prep school. Go to a prep school that prepares you for the college you want to go to. Is that biology? Is it history? Is it English? I don't care what it is. You enjoy. Go to that prep school. Be ready for college. When you get there, you know what you're doing. You can maybe graduate in 3 years. You take advantage of internships, incubators. That's the future anyway. I see it. Why? I'm a guy who's hiring and firing. I'm a business guy. I know who they're hiring. I'm the guy doing it. I know that. They're ready to rock and roll and go out and do something. Awesome. You don't want that. No worries. You're the brilliant kid. You're the kid who can take an SAT and test. You're the book smart kid, the best one there is. Awesome. Take your SAT, go get an associate's degree right now. Why be bored for 2 years? Do it now. You're going to be a scientist anyway. Start now. Go. Awesome. Good for you. Third option. Hold on, let me finish it real fast. I'll get right to you. Third option. You don't want to do any of those things. Go to trade school. Oh my God, this state needs tradesmen like there's no tomorrow. The average tradesman in this state is over 50. Don't get me wrong, I love my over 50s. I said it's over 50, yes. I'm 50, so I like my 50-year-olds. I do. Yes, I do, absolutely. But that should not be the average. The average should be 30, 35. The 50-year-olds are training these people, but there's no one to train. It's a big problem. So how about instead we encourage those trade schools to pop. Take 2 years, and depending on what you're doing, you either have a license or you be an apprenticeship when you're 18. Get out there, start working. You don't like that? No worries. You're 16? Go get a job. I'm not joking. Get a job. I worked at 16. What's wrong with that? Go. Learn what it means to have a work ethic. Learn that when your boss says show up at 8, that doesn't mean 9:30. That means 7:45. That's what it means. You know how many business owners I hear all the time say, Larry, I will hire anybody with a work ethic. You got a work ethic, you're hired. I tell you to be here at 7 and open the door and you're there, you're hired. Because most people won't be there. If you're the one who shows up when I say be there at 7, open the door, you're there, you're hired. I'll train you. I'll hate training you because I wish you learned something in trade school. This is horrible. This has to change. And it can if we do this. Because not just that, if you're in trade school as the first option, we'll have less desire for foreign labor. If you're working at 16, you can work at a lower rate because you're living at home. Less desire for foreign labor. Nothing but value here. Now you add on top of that, last option, start a business. Now Larry, I hear two things I hear all the time. One, they're young, they're 16. Good, make your mistakes at 16. The price for failure at 16 is nothing compared to the price for failure at 26. Make it at 16. Mom and dad are still there. You made a mistake, all good. Second thing, how do you pay for this? Let me tell you how. I was a Marine. When I got out of the Marine Corps, I had a GI Bill. GI Bill, so you have X dollars and Y number of years to use it. We're going to give every kid $20,000, 7 years to use it. They don't get a check. It's in the government will pay. $20,000, 7 years to use it. Here's what I promise you will happen. A bunch of prep schools will pop up. How much will those prep schools cost for 2 years? Yes, they will. Yes, they will. Then a bunch of trade schools pop up. How much will they cost for 2 years? Yes, they will. How do I know that will happen? Because it's guaranteed government money, therefore they'll all get loans. They will all get loans because it's guaranteed government money because by state constitution, we have to pay for years 1 through 12 of education. That's in our constitution. We have to do it. What does that mean? That means right now, His Majesty is very proud of this. We spend $22,000 per kid per year in this state for education. With this plan, the last 2 years, we pay 10. We save $12,000 per kid. That's about 400,000 11th and 12th graders. That's about $5 billion. That's more than our federal funds, so we don't care if we lose them. So we have $1 billion in, right there. Yeah, I've done the math. Yes, I have, and I don't know Common Core. Did it without it. So yes, so that's $1 billion we have extra, plus all the strings administrators done. We are literally going to have a surplus of billions in our education budget, literally billions of dollars in surplus, and a better system with happier kids. The last piece I was saying this, imagine if you were a teacher, 11th or 12th grade, and in your class, 11th, 12th grade, every single kid wants to be there. That's purpose. That's community. No more loneliness. Every kid wants to be there because they all pick. The geeky kids pick the geek stuff. The mechanical kids pick the mechanical stuff. The philosopher kids pick the philosophy stuff. Right then and there. Purpose. Other kids, go get jobs. Other kids, start businesses. You do that, you have happier kids. Happier teachers, happier students, which means happier New Yorkers, which is my goal. And how much of taxes did I raise? None. Not one. Thank you, guys. That's my education plan. Okay, so I had a lot of questions.
Rank has privilege. Let me just ask you.
Please go ahead. Yes.
We have a private Christian school here.
Yep.
And we have parents paying school tax
Sure.
and tuition. I'm
Yep.
not for a tax credit. What would you do to help in that situation? You gotta have a choice.
No, I agree.
Government schools are failing. Our average here, K through 12 is 93 point something. We're a year and a half ahead of all the government schools for their age. They're learning individually. They're graduating ahead of time.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Better job. They ought to credit us instead of asking us what we're doing.
You are preaching to the choir here. I'm with you.
How would you handle that? So I could use $22,000 a year per kid.
That'd be amazing, wouldn't it?
Well, it'd be amazing. So
Yeah, absolutely,
how
yeah.
would you help us with that?
Yeah.
Christian schools, Catholic schools,
Yes.
Jewish schools.
Let's be very clear. I'll go a little bit further in how this works so you understand. I actually want to change how we fund the schools. I didn't want to go that deep. I didn't know if you guys care, but since you care, I'll go even deeper. Here's how we begin to fund schools. Right now, how you fund schools is some crazy algorithm on how much money someone gets based upon test scores and no one knows. and you get checks. Then each person in each school district writes for grants to try to get money from the federal government, or to get money from the state government, and they're all trying to make this happen. Then I decide that I have a crony, he's my buddy, so he knows how to build football fields, so I bribe you $10 million so that he'll go build the football field for you. That's the current system. Horrible system. And about $20 some odd million comes out of the local, $20 billion comes out of local counties. I want to end all school tax. Do you understand what that will do with our property taxes? Why do I want to end all school tax? Because what I want to do is I want to write a check from the state. The state is supposed to pay for school. That's in our Constitution. Supposed to pay for it. Write a check for each school district. Each school district gets X dollars per kid times X dollars. There's your check. Done. That's what you get. X dollars per kid. That's what you get. Enjoy, school district. Make things happen. Enjoy. No more grants. Yes, no more grants. But guess what else happens? What happens if you don't spend all your money right now? They take it back. What a dumb idea that is. Wow, is that stupid? How about instead, if you don't spend your money, you get to save it. It's your money. Not just that, you get a flat fee per kid. So you only consolidate if it makes sense to service your community, not for money. Because the money's the same no matter what. Changes everything. Now, what about people who are homeschooled? What about people who are in private school? If you can homeschool your child, if you're prepared to do that, oh my God, please do that. That's amazing. If you can do that, please do that. Homeschool is great. If you want to send your kid to a private school, oh my God, please do that. That'd be great. I want to support you in every way, shape, or form that I can. I want to adopt, and this is one thing I'm unsure what the actual laws will be. I haven't done the homework on this one. I want to adopt the most pro-homeschool, the most pro-private school rules of every state. I want to copy it. To be fair, I don't know what that is. I think it's New Hampshire, but I'm not sure. So what will I do? I'll find the best rules we have in the country, cut and paste. That's how I'll solve that problem. Does that make sense? I want to support you. I don't know what that number is to be forward, but there will be some way of helping you out as a school. Of course, you'll get part of something because you will have a part of those students. You will have some of those students, so you will get a part of that. The school will get it, not the parents. Does that make sense? The school will get a part of that. For the sake of argument, $15,000 per kid. The private school will get a cut of that. Yes, absolutely. We'll get a cut of that, but not the whole thing. Here's the reason why. Even though you'll be a private or homeschool, you still should be able to use facilities of the public school because you're still paying the taxes for it. So if you're a homeschooler, but you want to be part of their football team, you should be able to do so. If you're a private school and you want to be part of the football team, you should be able to do so. You want to use the library, you should be able to do so. You're paying taxes for it. Why wouldn't you? So it won't be the full amount. It will be a percentage or a piece. I don't know what that number is. Does that at least make sense to you what I'm talking about? And it will, yes, and it will be that. You will get something. That's what I'm telling you. You will. And if you're a homeschooler, you will get access to the actual school district you're in, even if you're a homeschooler. Great.
The problem why that usually winds up, though, is when you start taking the state money, then they start mandating what you have to teach. And we have a particular philosophy in our Christian school. We're not going to teach other doctrines. We're not going to teach humanism, which the public school teaches. There cannot be a hook in the fish in the bait.
Yeah, I have one hook, and only one hook. You ready for my hook? Transparency. That's it. You take state money, you must be transparent. If you don't want to be transparent, you may not have state money. That's how that works. My answer is transparency. You want to hide, you don't get state money. You want to let everybody know what you're doing with your money? Take the money. That's my only hook, transparency. I don't require anything else, just transparency. If you want to stop bad behavior, shine a light on it. That's how it works. Shine a light on it, no matter what. Shine a light on everything. If you're doing something bad or nasty or terrible, we'll shine a light on it, and we'll see it, and we'll stop it. And if you're not, enjoy. Look, I said happy New Yorkers. I said happy New Yorkers. If going to religious school makes you happy, go ahead. My kids went to a religious school for many years. Well, my family's part of the Greek Orthodox Church, right? So my kids went to Greek school for years. They were obviously teaching Greek Orthodox religion. My kids are baptized Greek Orthodox. Yeah, obviously, yes. I never have a problem with that. No problem at all. So you're transparent, you and I are good. You're not transparent, you can't have any state money.
We
Does it?
don't want to teach abortion, we don't want to teach gay marriage, we don't want to teach any of that stuff. As long as it's okay, there's no mandate.
Oh, why would, oh God, disclaimer. You know I'm a libertarian, right? Okay, I mean, you know that, right? I haven't hidden that fact. Let me give you, very, very clear. Let me give you a quick list of all the time centralized control has worked. Finished. Yeah, finished. And a lot of people have gray hair like me here, which means you were in school before 1980. Many people, right? You were in a school at one point prior to 1980. Prior to 1980, there really was no Department of Education. Didn't really exist. I mean, it existed, but it was basically just a repository for information. Didn't exist. So there was no centralized control in our education system prior to 1980. Somehow everybody here who's been in school prior to 1980, myself included, somehow learn how to read and write. Somehow know how to function in society. Somehow know how to hold down a job and survive. We all figured it out. I don't have to have centralized control. What I have to have is if you take state money, you must be transparent. That's what I have. You don't want to have state money? It's up to you. Did I answer your question? Awesome. Good. Go ahead.
Okay, no, just one comment, and then I'll give you
Please.
my answer, or my question. I totally disagree with legalizing any kind of drugs.
Yep.
I was hit head-on 21 years ago by a person who was high on drugs.
Mm-hmm.
And I still, to this day, have severe problems because of it.
Mm-hmm.
So I totally am against legalizing any kind of drugs. They don't need to be driving while they're high on drugs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now my question.
Did I still make 80% or no?
We're not done yet.
Uh-oh, so maybe. All right, I'm working it. We're working it. All right, let's work it. Let's see if I can still get 80% on you. Let's see. Go ahead. I like the honesty, please.
Okay, my girlfriend, my best friend calls me her drill sergeant's friend.
Okay.
That's the way it is. Pistol permit renewal every
Yep.
5 years.
Yep.
What's your stance on that?
Yes. I love that question. I don't think the state government should be controlling that whatsoever. This should be down to the counties. If a county wants to do lifetime, let them. A county wants to do. Here's the reality. If you go downstate, Manhattan, Queens, they're going to want 2, 3, 5 years. They're going to want that. And it's fine. That's what they want. But now you come upstate, they may want lifetime. I'm okay. That should not be something a governor should be controlling at all. Let the counties deal with that. Yes. Oh, I might have broke 80. Yes, I might have broke 80. Awesome. Yes, go ahead.
Two questions.
Mm-hmm.
Having just received my notice for sanctuary cities from Judicial Watch, I realized that we now have a lot of them right around this area.
Yes.
Genesee has become one. Monroe County, there's
Yep.
several communities.
Absolutely.
So number one, what's your stance on that?
Sure.
And number two, over 80% of our county taxes
Mm-hmm.
currently go to unfunded state mandates.
You got it. Yes, indeed.
How, or what are we looking at
Yep.
to reduce that?
Let me deal with both of those. First, sanctuary cities. People been beating me up online. There's this story about how Larry's for sanctuary cities. I don't know where this comes from. But the people are saying, let me be very clear about something. You have two options here. Option one, New York State becomes a sanctuary state. If you vote red or you vote blue, New York State is going to become a sanctuary state. You think I'm joking? You're fooling yourself. Look at California. I know what people do all the time. But it's illegal. But the Constitution. Clearly, most people don't care. You're correct. It is, and they don't care. I'll go even forward. Look at California. California is looking at a law right now, it's not enacted yet, where they would actually punish a county that refuses to be sanctuary. So they will ignore the federal government and then punish a county for ignoring them. And they see no hypocrisy in this whatsoever. That is going to be our state if we don't do something about it. That's going to happen. Now, you want no sanctuary cities in New York State. That's never going to happen. I know you don't like to hear that. Never going to happen. New York City is going to be a sanctuary city forever. That's going to happen. I know you don't like that. I'm telling you reality. New York City is 8.5 million people. It is bigger than 40 states. Its financial and political power is greater than 40 other states. New York City gives out ID cards to illegal immigrants. The city gives out ID cards to illegal immigrants. New York City wants them and will keep them. Cuomo has tried to stop that. Cuomo has. De Blasio, who was the mayor of New York City, said, no, get away from me. De Blasio fights Cuomo, and they're the same party. You think someone else is going to stop that? You're fooling yourself. Here's what I will do to make things better. I will make sure that only New York City is a sanctuary city. That's it. I will allow each and every county to decide how they want to deal with ICE in their own way. Will they fund ICE? Will they support ICE? Will they ask for federal troops? If you're a Suffolk County and you have an MS-13 gang problem, you probably want to fund ICE. Not just that, you probably want state troops to come and help you. Okay, I'll send them. All good. And then Nassau County will see, how should I deal with this? I'm having the same problem. What will I do? And they'll figure out how to work. And immigrants will wind up going to New York City and staying there because New York City will be happy to take them. That's how things work. I know you don't like that because your next point is unfunded mandates. Now we're all paying for them. I want to end all unfunded mandates. I want you to start your budget at zero because if there are no unfunded mandates and if more money stays inside your county, then you don't pay for New York City. You keep your money in your county. New York City pays for itself. You pay for yourself. That's the goal. And if you pay for yourself, then why do you care if New York City is a sanctuary city? Because you're righteous? You can if you want to. Shake your fist and vote red. That's awesome. And what will happen? New York State will become a sanctuary state. You will pack up and leave and move to North Carolina. That's where your righteousness will get you. And that sounds horrible. I'm saying things you don't like. I'm telling you the truth. You have two choices. Sanctuary state or my idea. Because the Republican's not going to win and will do nothing about it, doesn't even care. Even if he did win, he doesn't care at all. And the Democrat is happy to have sanctuary state. That's the future. I'm sorry if that was a bad answer. I'm just telling you what I feel and what the truth is. Great. Go ahead.
I can tell you about a solution for that.
Tell me, I'm listening.
Home rule.
Isn't that what I just said?
Home rule.
Isn't that what I just said?
No.
I didn't?
You said your money stay within your county, but you didn't talk about home rule.
Didn't I just say you choose how you fund it?
How it's funded. But
You choose.
I'm talking about home rule. I'm talking about government that takes care of your specific areas.
Yes.
Not.
I'm sorry, I guess I didn't use that word. You're right, I'm sorry. I'll use your word. Home rule, fine. We're supposed to be a home rule state. We're not. But we're supposed to be a home rule state. Yes, my entire campaign is about that. Everything you've noticed, I've told you, is about localized, localized, localized. Yes, I'm in. 100%. I guess I didn't use the right word. Go ahead.
All right. What do you say, or how do you respond to what I've been seeing quite a bit on Facebook about the Libertarians are only doing this for 2020?
For what? What's the logic
The
behind
only
it?
reason you're running for governor, because if you get X amount of votes, you're going to be able to run on presidential.
Ah, great, good, yes. Oh, I love this. Let me be very clear about something. Here's what you will hear almost exclusively from Republicans. Democrats tend to ignore me or dismiss me and treat me like just a kid or something. Republicans, because they can't touch my message, always attack the messenger. Always like the messenger come up with these stories and these things consistently. You see it all the time. Larry's sanctuary cities. I told you. Larry's pro-choice. I told you. And I said this more than once. I've been saying the same thing for a year. If you think I'm making this up, go online. All my stuff's been on YouTube for 2 years already. You think I'm doing this for 50,000 votes? Gary Johnson, in 2016, got 175,000 votes. He was in this state for 5 minutes. Hi, I'm Gary Half you don't remember who that guy was until I said it, and some of you still don't know who he is. And he got 175,000 votes. You think I can't get 50,000? I could put a chimp here and get 50,000. Why in the world would I need 50,000 votes to become a party in New York State. Anybody could have done that. I could have just said, you know what, Andrew, I'm tired. I'm quitting. You take over. Andrew will take over. 50,000 votes. I don't have to keep busting my rump to keep doing that. I can go home now and get that. I have I have over 100,000 people just on my social media. Just on my social media. Are you kidding me? I got 37,000 people on YouTube. There is no way in the world that we're working this hard for 50,000 votes. That is silly. It makes no sense. It's a sad attack upon me. It's embarrassing. Are you nuts? Let's be very clear. The Republicans coming in third. That's reality. You might think that's not true. You're fooling yourself. The Republicans coming in third. He's broke already. See the recent thing? He's broke. What's he been doing? What has he been doing? What's he spending money on? Pizza parties? What's he been doing? It's embarrassingly bad. He's broke already. He's going to come in third. I'm coming in first or second. 50,000, that's been in my rearview mirror forever. Not just that, I've literally said, and I will tell you again, I am not running for president in 2020. Said it before, said it again. Not going to happen. I want to fix my state. I don't want to move. I'm doing this because the other two parties have failed us for decades and done nothing. I'm doing this so I don't have to move. Is it selfish what I'm doing? Yeah, kinda. I don't want to move. I want to fix my state. I will not be a hostage. That's why I'm doing it. Did that answer your question? Awesome, good. I think you were next. Go ahead.
I have a question on our lottery.
Yep.
And the reason is I was at school, they were discussing the budget, and I said, well, how about all this lottery money?
Oh my God, yes.
And
And the tolls that are going to go away after we pay for the bridges. Right, I know,
the
yes.
was, if the state gives them, figured to make math easy, $2 million to the school, the lottery turns around and says, which was supposed to supplement everything, here's $1 million. The state says, well, you got $1 million for the lottery. You don't need $2 million for
Yes.
the lottery. They yank $1 million.
That's correct, yes.
So I want to know what you're going to do to fix that.
Well, it should all go to the general fund anyway. Look, the issue is we have to revamp the entire tax system, as I mentioned, right? I want to get rid of school tax and make taxes stay locally. The goal is the least amount of money that goes to New York State, the less corruption there'll be. So certain things we'll do, things like the regional economic development corporations, all of them go away. All of them go away. They are literally petri dishes for corruption. They all go. They are. They're literally that. They're petri dish. You sprinkle in money, and out grows corruption. Yes, so they are. Why would I keep that? Think about this. Every single person who's been arrested, indicted, convicted, every one of them is on a board or a committee or an authority, every one of them. All those have to go away. Once those go away, we will have transparency. Once you have transparency, we'll actually know how the budget works. Do you know the average person has no idea how the budget even works? It's so convoluted. So the whole thing has to be rebooted. I wish I can give you a specific answer for that specific thing, but it has to be rebooted. It has to be a general fund, and it has to go out very simply. I'm a business guy. What does that mean? You have your revenue and your expenses, and then what comes out, what do you do with your profit? That's how I see a budget. Not this is the year. No, that's how it works. We'll fix it like that. Go ahead.
I was in New York State Department of Corrections. I don't know if you know, over the past 6 years ago, I was in the middle of prison when we started saying crime's down, closing 9 prisons.
Yeah, crime's down because he closes prisons.
I'm watching nobody really go home, everybody start packing up, everybody just leaving. Then lately, pardoning all the parolees to vote for him and restoring the voting rights. What is your thoughts?
Yeah, look, my father was a corrections officer, and we have to realize we need to support law enforcement. It's not just cops. Law enforcement is also parole officers. It's also corrections officers. We have to support them in general. And I have a special place in my heart for corrections because my father was one. My father was a corrections officer at Rikers Island in Queens. So here's an issue. Some of you may not know this. If you're in corrections, you will know this. Every corrections officer I've ever met, every CO I've ever met, knows exactly how long until they retire. Do you know? How long? 12 years. Everyone knows. Not just that. Every corrections officer I've ever met knows someone who's committed suicide. Yes. Every CO I've ever met knows someone who's an alcoholic. Yep. Every CO I've ever met also, this is a hard one, knows that your life expectancy is 58 years. That's our corrections officer now. Not just that, they haven't had a contract in about 2.5 years. They've been taking zeros for about 2.5 years. That's shameful. We as a state should be embarrassed by that. And who's talking about that? Nobody. Me. I'm the only one talking about that. I'm the only one talking about corrections officers. I'm the only one talking about the Second Amendment. I'm the only one talking about fixing education. I'm the only one talking about fixing taxes. I'm the only one saying this. Everyone else is going, Cuomo's evil or Trump is evil. That's all they're saying. If you're Cuomo, you yell Trump every day. If you're the Republican, you yell at Cuomo every day. I'm the one saying, how do I help you? How do I fix this state? I'm the one saying that. So let me tell you number one. Number one, I'm going to give you a contract within 90 days. And for those of you who don't know, what's stopping the contract is the Cuomo punishment clause. It's exactly what's doing it. I don't care about punishing you, my friend. I need you. Here's what I know when it comes to prison reform. Here's what I'm sure of. There are people in prison who are really bad and probably should never get out. And there are people in prison who've made a mistake or done something bad and should pay that to society to include prison and parole and then get a second chance. And there are people in jail who probably shouldn't be in jail. Here's what I don't know. I don't know which one is which. You know who does? You do. You and your brothers and sisters know because you deal with them every day. You are the ones who are part of the actual solution, and we're making you part of the problem. What we have right now is an entire environment of apathy, a culture of apathy in most of our law enforcement because the current governor, His Majesty, hates his knights. The king hates law enforcement. That is clear. And the Republicans don't care. They're apathetic. They're the nothing. They talk the talk. We love our law enforcement. No plan, no nothing. Where are the Republicans fighting for your contract? None. Where are the Republicans fighting for your contract? I'm the guy who says it. I'm the guy who says it everywhere I go. I'm the one saying it's wrong. I visit prisons. That's what I do. Who else does that? No one. Republicans don't care. Democrats are happy. They want to punish you all day long. And Republicans don't care. I care. I will fix that. I will make that happen. But not just that. I want something in return from you. You got to help me fix this. And here's how. There's a system right now in Massachusetts called the Humvee program. This is a program where they have COs plus volunteers who come in with people of a specific community and try to help them to separate them to get them back out into the world. Now, right now what we do is, and tell me if I'm wrong, we petition some cool idea or plan, we drop a bunch of millions of dollars, outsiders come in who know nothing, we spend 2 years throwing our money away and get nothing and punish our COs. Is that about right? That's about right. That's current. How about instead I say, I've got COs, people who deal with these prisoners every day. They know the ones who should be in these communities. They know the ones who get that second chance. They know the ones who have a chance. And they know the one who just tried to stab somebody yesterday. They know them. So you put them in that situation. That's what's happening right now in Massachusetts. The COs control it because that's what they do, and volunteers come in to help. Know what I said? Volunteers, not experts that cost millions of dollars. I said volunteers come in. There are enough people who want to help inmates that will volunteer for free happily, and enough COs who are more than happy to start these programs. The older ones always tell me the same thing. I'm too old to be rolling around the floor with these guys. So they say. They'd happily join in this. So now you have a system that will make this happen. Right now, we have prisons that are closed that we can just reopen and do that. We already have facilities. We can just do it. Don't have to add any new prisons, add not one extra dollar, don't have to hire any new COs, just give them a contract and they'll do it. That's my only caveat. Help me fix this. Tell me what communities I should be using to make this happen. Tell me what those ones are. The one they use right now in Massachusetts is veterans. And what happens is the recidivism rate in Massachusetts is 75%. With that program, it's less than 5. Less than 5. You want to fix prison reform? Fix prisons? I need you. You help me, I give you a contract. Done. 90 days. Finished.
Larry?
Did I answer your question? Awesome.
Larry,
Yes.
One more, and then
I'm sorry. I'll talk forever, guys. I'm sorry. I will.
that's all right.
Go ahead. Yes. Go ahead.
I'm a town supervisor, so I can ask you a lot of questions.
Please, go ahead.
I'm gonna ask you two.
Okay?
What are you gonna do to stop this opioid problem?
Yep.
And two, what are you gonna do to stop the colleges in the cities that have these free, safe areas for people to come and shoot up, where the taxpayer dollars are paying for the doctors and the nurses to
Yep.
stand there and watch these junkies get high?
Great question. Let me cover that. Now, this will be a little bit of time. The problem with the opioid issue is This is a problem that's been hitting us for many years. So there is no simple answer, but there are answers. The first one I already brought up, which is making hemp and cannabis regular like onions. I know you don't like that. I see her face already. She's mad at me. But here's what I know for sure. As I mentioned earlier, 80% of our addicts, or as you call them, junkies, started on an FDA-approved prescription drug. That's where they started. If instead they had an option of a cannabis product, less and less of them would be junkies to this day. That's a fact. If you think I'm making that up, the data is in. The data is in Colorado, in California, in Washington, in Portugal. They did studies in Norway, studies in Switzerland. It's simply a fact. If you want to make less junkies, one step, not the only step, one step is allowing cannabis products to exist. You do that, you will begin to have less junkies. That's not enough. On top of that, cannabis products also, there are certain ones that will actually allow you to mitigate your withdrawal symptoms. Why do people go back to drugs? Because of withdrawal symptoms. Take a cannabis product, you can mitigate your withdrawal symptoms. A better chance of you getting off. So if you are already an addict, a chance to get off the addict. That's number two. Now, that's not enough. On top of that, let's actually realize when they go to prison, and I need you again, my friend, we're going back to this, are these people getting arrested addicts? Or are they bad guys? Or are they both? I don't know. He does. He will help me to decide which ones should be going to treatment and which ones shouldn't, because I don't know which ones are which. But he does. And we create actual treatment centers in the prisons to give them a chance to get up and not be addicts anymore. Because right now in prison, there's drugs in prison. No. You're saying no.
Really?
Yeah, but hold on. There's, yeah, exactly. Hold on, be very clear. There's literally a wall around these people and armed guards to stop them, but there's drugs. I want to be very clear. I'm going to give you a list real fast of all the times prohibition has worked. Finished. Yeah. Finished. Never. Does not work. You want to change bad behavior, shine a light on it. I'll say it again, shine a light on it. Absolutely. So do that first. Next, I'm not even done yet. Treat, as a general rule, if someone steals or robs or hurts someone to get their drug, they should go to jail for that. If they just have their drug, they should be treated like they're an addict, not like they're a criminal. Having the drug should not be a crime. Doing something illegal to get the drug is a crime. There's a difference. What does that mean? Now if someone's actually having a problem and you see it, they're not afraid to go get help because they're going to go to jail. Now you have people who are addicts and who realize they've had a problem, they've hit rock bottom. And if you know anybody who's been an addict, at one point they hit rock bottom. And sometimes they hit it before they do something stupid. And sometimes they don't. If they hit rock bottom before they do something stupid and they're not afraid of going to jail, they will go get help before they do something illegal. If you know people who are addicts, illegal is one of the last things they do. They sell their cars, they sell their goods, they sell everything first before they go illegal. If they get rock bottom and you give them a chance, they may go get help. So I want someone who has not done something illegal to get their drug be treated like they have a medical problem. But I'm still not done. You brought up the idea of injection sites. I want to do something even different. And that is, right now we have OASIS. You guys know what OASIS is? OASIS is the government agency that decides how people can be cured from their addictions. Horrible idea. Horrible idea. That should have absolutely no power whatsoever. Do you want me to go back to how often centralized controls worked? Yeah, never. Yet again, another example of that. If they wouldn't be a repository for information, I don't have a problem with that. They shouldn't have power. Here's why. People break their addiction through many ways, depending on the person. Some through another drug. Some through spirituality. Some through exercise. Some through religion. Some through family and friends. All different reasons and ways you can break your addiction. Why in the world would I have some central authority telling me how that should happen? How about I allow them to do whatever they think is appropriate in their life? And again, to your point, home rule. Ithaca wants to have safe injection sites. Yes, that's what they want.
Well, they do.
Yes, I know, I met the mayor. I know. You know what I told him? Okay. Why did I say okay? As long as we create no unfunded mandates and they pay for their own sites and we don't pay for it and they want to do that, let them try it. Not my business. You don't like it? Tell your local people to not do it. And they won't. You don't want it in your county? Don't have it in your county. Home rule. That's what you just said. You don't like it? Don't do it. I have no problem with that. You're a town supervisor? Your people don't want it? Don't allow it. Totally fine with that. Again, I'm not going to tell you what's right. You're going to decide. And if you keep having problems, you want to change? Change. If you work, what did I say? Transparency. Others will copy. Totally happy with that. Did I answer your question? Awesome. Great. I can't go any further, right?
Yeah, we got to.
Sorry. Anyway, I would talk forever, guys. Let me wrap it up, Professor. I'm sorry. Let me wrap this up if I could. If you like what you hear and you care, go to LarrySharpe.com. Go to Larry Sharpe for New York. Support me if you want to. You can donate if you like. I'm happy for you to donate. But if you don't want to donate, do something else. Tell people about this campaign. Tell them. Share on Facebook. Tell your friends. Let people know if you care. If you like the status quo, no worries. Vote red or vote blue, you will get status quo. I'm guaranteed. The Republican candidate is never going to win. That's a fantasy, never going to happen. Whoever tells you that is joking. That is never going to happen. He's already broke. He doesn't raise as much money as Ashburn did last time. He has no fire in his belly. I'm taking half his people already. There's no way he's going to win, and he can't get Democrats. Can't win. Never going to happen. Fantasy. Larry's splitting the vote. No, he's taking my votes because I'm the only person who can cross over. If you want change, it's me or nobody. But here's the best part. What if he does come in second? What changes?
Nothing.
Nothing. Nothing changes. You get status quo. You can feel righteous as you're packing your U-Haul and moving to Arizona. Or you can support me and vote for me. Because either I win, in which case I change this state and this nation overnight, or two, I come in second, in which case there's a microphone shoved in my face. Larry, how'd you do it? And I talk about everything I talk about here again. Education, Second Amendment, small businesses, farmers, home rule. I bring up all these things again and again and again, and we still get change. Did anybody happen to see my Joe Rogan interview? Some people did? Yep. Remember at the end of that Joe Rogan interview? He said, Larry, you got great ideas. You get great ideas. You better lock them down. I said, why? People take them. What was my response? Take them. Take them all. Yes, I'm doing this because the other two parties have failed for 16 years. That's why I'm running, because they have failed. That's why I have any chance of it. Look at this. You're all here. Why? Because they're so bad. LarrySharpe.com. That's Sharpe with an E. And the E stands for electable. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Good seeing you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. If somebody wants to talk to you for a few minutes.